Hola muchachos, bienvenidos a esta cuarta parte de Stanley Parable. Recorrí todo el camino y llegué aquí a las 2 puertas otra vez. Pero todo normal, todo normal. Vamos a ver. Voy por la derecha. Ok. Ok. Si me voy por aquí. Ya. Pero esto ya lo viví, po. En otra parte, en la segunda parte está esto. En la primera está esto.
What did you think was so special
No, la
about seeing the
segunda.
game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless
Pero-
now. And what am I supposed to do?
Pero ya
Even
viví
if there
esto,
were a
ya
way to
viví
continue,
esto.
would it be worth it? To know that my story is now
Déjà vu.
incorrect? How can I
Déjà
go
vu.
back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility
Ya
forever.
viví
I couldn't live
esto.
that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know.
Ah, pero
What's the answer?
después de
What do I
esto, el
do?
loquito me vuelve a las 2 puertas, creo.
No, I have to.
Y ahí
I have to shut
la
the
parte
game
anterior,
down. I have
yo
to.
entré a la derecha. A ver
I
si le hago caso después de esto. Voy a ver. X, apaga las luces. Y vuelve el culiao, se supone. ¿No está el culiao? Vete.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you.
Apúrate,
You,
culiao.
who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed.
Devuélveme.
It was the only thing in the world that was
Muérete.
mine, and you've run it into the ground. What,
Puta
did you
larva.
think that would be funny?
Larva.
You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley?
Bueno, se
He
hizo más
actually
mierda de lo
knows
que
how to
estaba
do what I
esto.
tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even
Apúrate, por
occurred to you,
mierda.
had it?
Apúrate.
That there's a world outside of you. You're a child. Oh,
Oh.
my story.
Deja llorar, culiao. Y mándalo
If
donde
you'd just
está.
gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been
Golpes de la noche.
I worked so hard
en la
on it. I
playa.
tried so hard.
Ahí está. Yo ya vivía.
Behave
Aquí
exactly as
está.
Stanley would.
Aquí
That
en la
means
parte
choosing
anterior yo me
responsibly
fui por
and
la
always
derecha.
putting the story first.
Por la
I'm
derecha.
quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just
Sí.
follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley
Esta
came
no he
to a
probado.
set
Esta
of
por
two open
quizás
doors,
cambie.
he
No
entered the
creo.
door on his left.
No creo. Si me fui por aquí, el culiao se enojó y me mandó a la mierda. Ey. Ok. Vamos a ver. Veo todo igual. Veo todo
Yet there was not a single person here either.
igual.
Feeling a wave of disbelief,
Veo
Stanley
todo
decided to go up to his boss's
igual.
office, hoping he might find an
Veo-
answer.
¡Ey!
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked
Aquí había una
upstairs to his
bajada.
boss's
Aquí había una
office.
bajada. Algo tuvo que haber cambiado. Quizás. No. No. Nada. Nada. ¡Eh! What? Está diferente. No. Si vamos a jugar un lolcito. No.
Stepping
No!
inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver
Mira.
next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Lo toco. No hay nada más. Po. Hablo.
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the
Night
receiver.
Shark
Right there on the wall.
115. Night Shark
Is there a
115.
problem? You didn't mishear me, did you?
Pero si lo estoy...
Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise we can't
Por
get on
favor,
with the story.
habla-
This is a crucial step.
Night Shark 115.
Okay, fine, you're not going to do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do.
Pero si,
I asked
hablo.
you for this
No-
one
no puedo
single
nada.
thing, for your respect.
Estoy
The kind
hablando,
of
eh.
respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice,
Tranquilízate.
you know. You could have gone through the
Tranquilo,
door on
viejo.
the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain
Oye.
yourself, you coward.
What?
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door.
What?
Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay?
What?
Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice.
No, me
I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me?
lo pasé.
Can you hear me?
Lo pasé.
Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It
Pero
cannot exist
me
without
veo.
you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is
No puedo ver la
just fine.
cara.
You're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll
Puta, que era
explain
feo,
whatever you
culiao.
do. I simply need you to
Que era
take
feo el
that
culiao.
step forward, please. Choose. Do
¿Y
something.
cómo lo pasé? No entendí. Oh, la wea es rara, weón. La wea acuática.
I need this. The story needs it.
No se parece al...
Are you there?
Solo barrieta, no, al pollo fuente. Parece al pollo fuente, weón.
Okay.
Pero qué chucha.
Wait.
Qué chucha.
Time to decide. Time
Lo
to
di
make
vuelta.
sure your choice is correct. That is the best.
Eso es todo.
That's all right.
El culiao está mal pico. Está hablando solo el culiao, igual que yo.
Take as much time as you need.
Lo pasé. Este es el video más corto de mi vida. ¿Y ahora? ¿Y ahora? Y... Pero si le di vuelta, ¿no? Vamos a echar un vistazo.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Vamos a echar...
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Echar un vistazo.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Como que eso no había dicho antes. Había un truco para... Acaban de invitarme a una partida para LOL. Vamos a pagar todo. Creo que me lo di vuelta y está el fin, weón. ¿Será? ¿Será el fin? ¿Será el puto fin de esta? Me lo di vuelta, conchetumare. Creo que me lo di vuelta.
When Stanley came to a set
Ya,
of two
cállate,
open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Sí, me lo di vuelta. Me di vuelta el puto juego. Me di vuelta.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
¿Y esto? ¿Y
But
esto?
Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility
Ya lo terminé,
of
pero
his boss.
esto es como un
Admitting he had
extra, a
left
ver.
his post during work
¿Un
hours.
extra?
He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because
nunca había
he
venido para
believed
acá.
everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be
Oye, es lo
real.
mismo,
And
¿verdad?
at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue.
Para.
He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid.
Oye.
So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical star.
Hola, vengo a flotar.
It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley
ya me di vuelta al juego.
believing that
Pero nunca había venido para acá.
he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as
Pero
he's
ya
ever
me
been
está.
in his life.
Me está.
Now hearing the voice
Está aburriendo
speak these
esto.
words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control.
Está aburriendo esto.
So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want.
No, yo no
I want
dije
my
eso.
apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
What?
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who
¡Qué
am
chucha!
I? And everything went black.
What?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Mariela.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose,
What?
gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment
para de
that
hablar.
she stood there,
¿Deja
staring
jugar?
down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Si empieza al principio, doy por terminado.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting
Aquí
room.
sí, yo
Perhaps
estoy
he had
aquí.
simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door
Hace lo
on his
mismo.
left.
Si llego a la
Yet
oficina
there was not a
y
single
está
person
igual la
there
oficina,
either.
doy por
Feeling a wave
terminado.
of disbelief, Stanley
De
decided
estar
to go
disparado.
up to his boss's office, hoping he might find. Coming to a
Yo no, la
staircase,
puertecita,
Stanley walked
la
upstairs to
puertecita.
his boss's office.
Sigue abierta, no, ya fui por ahí. Ok. Sí.
Stepping into his
Ya, muchachos. Sí, hemos llegado al fin de esta historia de Stanley Parable. Muchas gracias por verme, dale me gusta y suscríbete. Adiós.